name is Barney. I want people to see me and see, wow, he's in a wheelchair, look what he can do. Not, wow, look, he's in a wheelchair, look what he can't do.
I got meningitis when I was 4 months old. I was always in and out of the hospital when I was a kid.
Yeah, I had a bit of my fingers amputated and my whole arm, because if they didn't amputate it, then it would just keep on spreading upwards.
But there were all sorts of complications, and they had to chop my left leg off when I was 10. 3 years later, they took my right leg. But I was determined to show people that I could still do things. And at 17, I became the youngest ever member of the New Zealand Wheel Blacks.
I never thought I'd make the Wheel Blacks at a teenager's age. Felt like getting blessings from the Queen herself. But you gotta take one for the team, eh? You can't just sit on the court and be a little pussy. You gotta run on that court, act like a man, take that ball off. Doesn't matter if you get scratched or not, at least it's your ball. Today's my last day at Pepatoto High School. Quite nerve-wracking because I don't know what the world has to offer me, but it's going to be a great journey.
I'm so happy with him, you know. I'm a proud mama because, you know, I keep telling Barney, go to school, study hard, have an education. He's a humble boy, good boy.
I'm the only child, so I'm pretty much spoiled. Pretty much a spoiled one. But I feel that if my parents spoil me, I gotta spoil them as well. And in order for me to spoil them, I gotta keep my grades up.
Yeah. So I gotta discipline myself. I gotta say to myself, if I wanna succeed, I gotta work. Just like every normal human being. So what I've been doing is I've been telling my mates that I can't hang out with you. I gotta go home and get this knowledge sunk in, then I can hang out with you.
Bloody boy!
I tried my hardest in school and it's paid off.
I'm really proud that this year they've made me the deputy head boy.
I love the school. I went to a lot of high schools and they didn't accept me because of my disability, but then I came here, they opened their doors as soon as they saw me. So that gave me the first impression that this school was a very caring school. They respected me, they treated me like a normal human being. And that's something every teenager wants to get.
Things haven't been easy for Barney in his life, as you could imagine. But he's got an enormous amount of resiliency. And I think that's the thing that marks him as someone really special, is that resilience, and he's an inspiration.
I had to break out of my shell, out of my shy shell. I have to go out there and introduce myself, because at first, you know, when people see a guy in a wheelchair, they get the first impression that his head is out of place, that he can't think for himself, he can't do anything for himself. But the thing that people got to realise is that just because we're confined to a wheelchair, that doesn't mean our head is in a wheelchair as well. Our head is working, but our body's not. And pretty much the head will get you anywhere in a job, not the ability, it's about how smart you are.
Today, they've asked me to deliver the leaving speech at the final assembly.
I just thought of some very big words, thought of myself, and I just put it all on paper. I want to make my statement clear. When you leave school with no regrets. That's my statement.
Barney, for a few words.
Good afternoon. I never thought I'd actually make it this far. I was more of an inside of my shell kind of person, a shy person, a person that didn't want to talk to people because of my disability. If it wasn't for this school, I wouldn't be up here. I wouldn't be out there talking to you guys. I wouldn't be living my life. I'll be staying in my bedroom under my blanket, scared as a little puss. I can see that every single person in this assembly has a dream. And let me tell you, that dream can be attained with hard work and determination. It is time for us to be mature, grow some wings, and get the hell out of this place. So I just finished school and straight away I got into uni mode. So by uni, at least I have some knowledge in my head of what I'm doing. This year, I'm planning on training to be a primary school teacher. Last year I got the Prime Minister's Youth Awards. I received the Inspiration Award. I want to go to Samoa and change how everyone sees disabled kids in Samoa. When I went to Samoa a couple of years ago, I felt like that everybody looked down on me, like they felt shame.
So I thought Samoa would be the right place to use the Prime Minister's Pacific Youth Award. I think my life could really be an inspiration out there.
I really want to have a buddy with the Prime Minister, so if I need help, I could just call him for backup straight away.
Hey Barney, how are you? Nice to see you again. How are you?
So I called on the Prime Minister to tell him my plans.
Are you well? Yeah. Good.
I really want to go and visit a struggling family with a disabled kid in Samoa. And I want to go there and see how they live their life and try and compare it to the way I live it in New Zealand. Because the way I see it is we get a lot of support in New Zealand from the government. And Samoa, the government does not support kids with disabilities. I really want to visit a school with disabled kids because in Samoa they're separated.
Right,
so they've got, we'll call it normal people and disabled people.
Yeah, look, it takes time to change attitudes, but as we know, one brave person basically challenging the status quo can change an attitude of a generation of people, and you can through your own actions demonstrate that their current set of beliefs are completely misplaced and they need to change. And you've demonstrated in your life already what's possible, and you're going to go on hopefully do great things over there. So if you push on one side, I will raise the matter with the Samoan Prime Minister when I see him next.
Thank you very much.
And push that along.
Cool.
Fundamentally, there ain't nothing you can't do.
I guess when you make a commitment to the Prime Minister, you've got to follow through. My parents were both born in Samoa, but this is only my second trip here.
I attract a lot of attention. Just having the people stare at me and give me that funny look. You don't see much disabled people going around the city. And maybe that also comes down to the history of Samoa, where being disabled brings shame to your family. I'm pretty sure I can change the minds of a couple of people, like thinking positive towards disability instead of negative. You don't want to sound like a typical little show-off coming to tell people what to do, like in their own country. We take everything for granted back in New Zealand. We don't even know what we have. So you can't really come here and be a show-off and tell them what to do and all that.
Today, I'm doing 2 school visits. I want to see how disabled kids are educated in Samoa. When I go teaching, my goal is to inspire the kids with a disability and to educate the able kids about disability.
I expect to wow the crowd. First of all, I just want to talk to them about, being themselves, obviously. Accepting who they are and accepting comments from other people. I think I can touch base on how I live my life and how they can do it as well. If I can do it, you can do it. I have to get the toothbrush from reception because I forgot mine.
Loto Tamawhai was the first school in Samoa for students with disabilities. Before it opened in 1981, most disabled kids didn't go to school.
All right, we might need to go the other way. It's too rocky down here. Loto Tamawhai. Let's do it.
If my family had stayed here, this would have been my school.
You thought that in this kind of school it will be more suitable for kids with disabilities, like ramps more safe and entrance to doors more width. Just imagine if you get a person in a wheelchair like extra large and you can't get into the door.
We're doing everything in the best we can just to support. Despite their disability that they have, they should have a positive thinking about themselves. We're also feeding the students from Monday to Friday. And also this school, it's a fee school, so students are not paying any fee. Disability, it's not inability.
There's about 140 kids crammed in here. They have a huge range of disabilities, but they're just all taught together.
I had a speech prepared, but I had massive words in it. And then now seeing the crowd, I had to think of it on the spot now.
The teachers really care about the kids, but I don't see how teachers can support each of them.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are we today?
Yeah.
That's good. Like my team said, my name is Barney Koneferenisi and I come from New Zealand. It is a privilege to come and see you today. I just want you guys to know that everyone in this room is special. Growing up with a disability has really opened my mind to how to adapt with life. So how do I get up the stairs, how do I walk around, and how do I cope with people looking at me? I love people looking at me, I don't even care. That's their problem. If they want to look at me, they can look at me.
Outside of Apia, most children with disabilities still don't go to school.
Jokes.
I'm going to university, but that's not an option for them. They get taught carving. I guess that leads to a job.
This is amazing.
We noticed that there are students that are not be able to continue with the academic program, so we decided to establish this educational to be able to cater with the needs. That's why we have a vocational, so that to teach them different skills to be able to be independent in the future.
Because more kids with disabilities are now going to school here, they need a bigger building.
The construction should be started in June, so which is next month. And it's gonna take 18 months. Is that what Lita said? Yeah, 18 months. So hopefully by 2015 we'll be there.
I had no idea that disabled kids hadn't even been allowed to go to the local schools. But 2 years ago, the government sorted it. Today, everyone can go to the school nearest their village with their brothers and sisters and cousins. Every Samoan has heaps of cousins. Came to Samoa as a young teacher. She discovered how much the kids needed her and never left.
Sorry? Hello.
Today we're going to take you out to Sanapu village, which is a rural village. We're working with 65 primary schools now in Samoa that are including children with disabilities in their own village. So it's steps forward. Samoa's not doing too bad.
Pretty full on, isn't it?
Yeah. The principal is inspirational. He's sort of, these are Sanapu kids, so they belong in Sanapu school.
This whole area was wiped out by a cyclone 2 years ago. The Japanese helped rebuild the school, but there was no money left for ramps and footpaths.
This isn't really wheelchair friendly, is it?
It's hard for a kid with a disability to even get to the school.
One, two, three.
Liana Fisilafa Lauvi is the principal here and wants all the kids to get an education.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for the kids as we are running the inclusive education here. So whoever is in the school, yeah, we have the same opportunity to learn. Yeah, those kids with special needs and the kids who are healthy or whatever. So it's very good to be with Barney today. Yeah, and to feel that whoever has a special need, she or he can do anything.
One, I got two. Talofa. Like me, I love little kids, and when I just look at those little kids and their innocent eyes are just looking at you, it just warms my heart. And then I think to myself, oh, I want to teach these kids. One day I want to be teaching kids like this.
There are now 3 children with disabilities at the school. One is blind, one's deaf, and sitting down at the back of the classroom is Sally. She has cerebral palsy.
Sweetie, vier kos apa? Dua. Lima kosong. Makua, oh ya. Mang ay lo. Parilaw nga. Mang ay. You're feeling here. Feeling here, oi. Oh, ow.
Sally only has a second-hand pushchair to get around in, if she finds someone to push her.
How old is Sally?
She's 6.
And she's riding this.
Well, I know it's the age not appropriate is, but because we haven't got anything available here, this is the only thing that's able to help Mum from lifting her around, because Mum's carried her for 6 years. It's getting too much.
But also thinking of I know this is the only thing they can get, but
for now, yeah.
But just thinking of the grounds that Samoa has and the stuff that this cannot go on, like gravel. Yeah. How can this get on gravel?
It doesn't.
Tuli Fotolupe is blind. He wants to be a radio announcer. His cousins are here at the school with him. But until recently, he had to drive an hour and a half each day to a special school in the Pia.
all you can ask for from people is put in money, at least help to fix a school. Because these kids are the future, and how can the kids get a bright future if you can't give them a bright school?
I've been invited to visit Sally's house. She's the 5-year-old with cerebral palsy I met at Sanapu school.
And so it's a bit to do more with phonics. They're so used to letting her sit on the floor. Mum used to say, oh, she can't use her legs anymore, so what's the point? We need the parents to really, feel comfortable with what they're doing. You could probably help us on that too, because traditional ways is good, but they also need to keep an open mind.
I think that again come down to the way it is seen in Samoa. If you had a kid with a disability, there's no point of even trying with that kid. I think the parents, the mum and dad, are trying with the kids, but I don't think they have the support. Hopefully I can shine some rainbows in there.
Sally's family pretty much lost everything in the cyclone 2 years ago. Sally's little brother Tito has a disability too. He doesn't talk because of a mouthful mouth, but no one's sure what to do about it. And there's grandfather to be cared for.
I might need to hop out and just walk it, and then one of you might just need to carry the chair over.
Okay.
That's okay?
No worries.
Sweet. Yeah.
Man, Sally can't even get in or out of her house without being carried. She relies on other people for everything. What happens as she gets older?
There's a will, there's a way.
Mako mai niu silo. Mako mai wa ai lo. You wa ai Sally. Wa ai be how she lived her life in Samoa, and see what she doesn't have and what she does have and what we can do to help her.
As Sally's growing up, she has had what was like a stroke, and it's caused difficulty for her to use her limbs, her legs, especially on the left-hand side from the arm down. So over the years, her life has been very dependent on Mum supporting her. Sally wants to go to preschool. She wants to go to school. And so she won't stop her. She'll take her.
Yeah, she'll pretty much nag her mum until mum takes her to preschool.
Yeah.
Which is a good attitude to have. Like, you have to stay positive if you want to do this stuff.
She wants the best for Sally and a better chair as she grows
just
older.
to support her around and out of the house as well.
I guess with this opportunity of like meeting you, Barney, it's also opening an opportunity for Sally and all our children who have disabilities, and it's so important to the awareness, and so that's what's been happening for the last few years in regards to helping our people understand that people with disabilities can.
Sally does have an old wheelchair, but it's completely useless for these conditions. She needs a new one.
So instead of having straight, thick ones, we could have solid rubber wheels on the back of the chair. So when you lean back,
yes,
the wheels go smoothly on the rocks.
Oh, okay.
Like I took mine off because I I didn't need them anymore.
Oh, okay.
But mine were plastic, so they ripped easier.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think like thick, solid tires rubber for anti-tips would be a great idea to go over the rocks. You see how this chair has width over here?
Yeah, and it's much.
And it's more spacious as well. You see how she's more stable in this one than when she was sitting in her in that chair, because if Mum pushes her, I should just give this one to her. Eh? I'll walk to the airport. People with disability in Samoa, their confidence gets affected quite badly. I don't blame kids or adults with disabilities if they're not confident enough in this country, because there's not much support for them to get confident. You see how she's already at that. So when I leave Samoa and get back to New Zealand, I'm going to get straight to the wheelchair problem. Try and get some wheelchairs imported from New Zealand to Samoa and to the families that really need it. So the wheelchairs are the short-term goals, but maybe equipment for the other families, like ramps and that are needed, that's a long-term goal. So there's going to be a lot of work when I get back to New Zealand.